Hey, yo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Monday night once again. Unfortunately, it is August the 13th, 2018. This was the go-home show for Summerslam, the absolute lamest party of the summer, and we are here to bring down the hammer, as we always are when an episode is as boring and as lackluster as this, and an episode that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the WWE just has no idea what the hell they're doing, and we are going to point everything out to you tonight, as we always do, right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and Spotify. It's the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me is the greatest tag team in all professional wrestling coverage all over the internet. It is Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder, and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Along with him, as always, is his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball Microphone. Thank you guys for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review tonight. And before we get started with the hammering, we need to take a minute to pay respects to the Neidhart family, the entire Hart family, as we lost Jim the Anvil Neidhart today, which was a very surprising story that broke this afternoon. It did not allow me enough time to do what I always do, which is get that tribute video up there. He is more than deserving of our full attention here at Sledgehammer TV, but with it being SummerSlam and everything going on this week, it is just a tough time in the schedule to get another video out, but we will do our best to do that, to give him the honor and respect he deserved. He was one half of one of my favorite tag teams of all time, as probably was for most of you guys that are watching me right now, especially if you were in my age bracket. The Hart Foundation was the very first tag team that was my absolute favorite tag team. There were many to choose from. We had teams like the British Bulldogs, we had Rotundo and Wyndham, we had all types of tag teams back in those days. The Rockers were doing their thing, but the Hart Foundation was my team until Demolition rolled around. And then my two favorite teams in all of the WWE would go at it on multiple occasions, filling me with joy and memories that will last a lifetime. The life and the legacy of Jim the Anvil Neidhart is way too big to talk about during a Monday Night Raw review. You could see that it's kind of choking me up. It was just, there's been so many deaths this year in the world of professional wrestling. A lot of them very prominent in my childhood, and they get harder and harder. They definitely do with each one that we announce. So our thoughts and prayers, as always, go out to the whole entire family. Wish Natty the best. You know, watching some of these superstars, I have my own little guilty pleasures, and Total Divas is one of them. I watch anything that's wrestling related, and from watching it over the last couple of years, you kind of feel like you're friends with these people. I know it's scripted, I know it's not real, but you feel like you get a window into their lives, and you feel like you know them a little better. I just happened to meet TJ, Natty's husband, TJ, at the House of Glory show, Temperature Rising, last month. And, you know, he was very, very welcoming of me. I told him of my fandom of the show that he's on, and how I loved how he was a wrestler. You know, so you feel like you get to know these people in a family sense, or at the very least, you feel like that you're friends, but through social media and whatnot. And it may just be a fantasy, but your heart breaks and your heart goes out for them. And that's going to be all we have to say about that. I want to offer my congratulations, if we can turn the dime on the other end right now and get a little bit more positive, and congratulate Renee Young. And if I can say right now, down with Coachman Do not even bother to bring him back. Just put Renee Young on that announcer's booth permanently. She did not bother me in the slightest bit. You may have your criticisms of her. You might not have liked this. You might not have liked that. But I thought it was a refreshing change. It was definitely a 100% improvement over a Booker T or over a Byron Saxton, especially when referencing Jonathan Coachman. Renee Young did a fantastic job tonight. Interestingly enough, though, where did she go during the main event of this show? Was her microphone purposely cut off? Did she know what was about to happen as Monday Night Raw went off the air? As we had the return of Dean Ambrose, her hubby came back to the show, and she wasn't allowed to say a peep. She couldn't be excited to see him. The whole fucking world knows they're together. Who would have put Dean Ambrose over better than his own girl? What the fuck is wrong with them? You give her this whole night to be part of the broadcast team. And then on the one fucking moment of the whole night that you could even deem worth watching, the one moment of historic note, a big-time comeback, you take her off the mic? Nobody else finds that a little odd? Gotta bring the hammer down where we see it. And it's gonna come down a lot. Because it's bad enough that WWE almost made me miss the return of Dean Ambrose by lulling me to sleep with a 10-minute tirade from Dolph Ziggler, which meant nothing, which said nothing that we have not heard him say over and over and over and over again. And on that note, how fucking stupid does Dolph Ziggler look? How fucking dumb are you, bro? Your whole mission was to have this match canceled. You go out there for the contract signing, you idiot. And you want to blabber on like a comic book villain doing a fucking monologue while everybody's loading up their weapons and formulating a plan, getting ready to hammer your ass down and take you out. That's exactly what happened on Monday Night Raw tonight. How stupid are you, Dolph Ziggler? Take the goddamn contract, sign it, and walk away. You're standing out there ramming on and on and on about all this shit nobody talks about, nobody cares about, nobody wants to hear you talk about how great you think you are, how the fans turned on you, all the same shit. You got this 7-foot psychopath and blah, blah, friggin' blah. I literally almost fell asleep. That I just didn't care. The whole entire crowd didn't care. We were all waiting for Seth Rollins. And by the time he came out, I didn't give a shit that Seth Rollins was even there. On and on and on. I don't understand it. Stupidity. Just like with Roman Reigns. Missed opportunities. Totally missed the boat in this segment. You had the chance tonight. And I don't even want to give them credit for putting themselves in a position, but they put themselves in a position to actually make the most hated match at SummerSlam be interesting. They gave us a nugget of a possibility to have Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman be aligned. Now, I shudder at the mere thought of that, as I know you guys do as well. But, as much as I would hate it, and as much as it's WWE shooting themselves in their own foot, because what the fans want is for Roman to turn heel. But by doing what they seemed to be doing, you were essentially turning Paul Heyman face, because the fans are still going to hate Roman Reigns because he's still going to be pushed in this hero way. He's only going to have Paul Heyman by his side. But by having that hanging over the balance of this match, if you would have had Paul Heyman come out, say everything he had to say, do his little Samoan thing, Afasa Mu Mamahama Gapuga, Your father taught me that. You know, it was very, very intense. And it kind of drew you in, and you just for a minute were like, where the hell is this going? You're dreading the possibility of it actually happening, but you're watching. And you're interested. At least I was. Where is this going? And then, like the drop of a hat, they took all the unpredictability away. They took all of the intrigue away by having Paul Heyman pepper spray Roman Reigns and then have the Beast Brock Lesnar come out and attack. Everything from last week, everything on social media, everything on WWE.com that has been put out there for us that pertains to this particular storyline has been a farce. It has been a choreographed, well-orchestrated plan by Paul Heyman to get in the head of Roman Reigns. Now, do the entire segment that we saw tonight without the pepper spraying and without the attack from Brock Lesnar, and just have Paul Heyman hand Roman Reigns that piece of paper, the promise agreement or whatever the fuck it is. Give him your promise ring, which doesn't mean anything. He's not set in stone. And then end it. You end it with Roman standing in the ring, holding the paper, looking at the paper, looking at Paul. Paulie looking at him. Tell him, think about it. Roman, I got you, bro. And now we're 6 days away from SummerSlam. We're not going to see any more about this. You're going to go into the main event and nobody's going to know where Paul Heyman's allegiance lies. Is he truly going to help Roman Reigns conquer the Beast at SummerSlam, or is he going to remain true and reveal the ruse at SummerSlam? 6 days! You don't have the patience to wait 6 days that you could have actually taken a match that everybody can't wait to shit on and make us all sit there like this. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Dumbasses. And then you wonder why I'm out here every week banging the hammer down on this friggin' logo, because they are fucking stupid. They set themselves up to actually somewhat fix the train wreck that they booked for this main event at this weekend's Big Fall pay-per-view, and they blew it. But I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm just supposed to watch and enjoy, right? I can't watch and enjoy when my common sense is being smacked in the face. Absolutely unbelievable. You want to talk about being smacked in the face? Let's talk about Ricky Roberts. Oh, WWE don't smack us in the face, yeah? Explain Ricky Roberts. You got 10 to 15 minutes of TV time on Monday Night Raw on a multi-million-dollar television show that airs on the USA Network, and you want to give 15 minutes to Ricky fucking Roberts, dressed up like Dusty Rhodes, real Dusty Rhodes, not yellow polka dot Dusty Rhodes, an old school cowboy with a guitar in his hand. Why? Why am I watching this? For Elias to come out. And I'm starting to get sick and tired of this shit too. They tagged Elias with Boring Trashley, and he has never been more boring in his life. Does the man even wrestle anymore? Or does he just want to come out and sing songs? You guys know I'm a big fan of Elias. I want to walk with Elias, but I wanted to walk with him when he was going out there and giving me good matches. He was one of the shining beacons of hope on Monday Night Raw, and he's been relegated to this B-movie bullshit TV script show that they just keep trying to get over on Monday nights as an entertaining thing, instead of giving us professional wrestling. It's entertainment. This is B-movie garbage. All the verbiage that is being written for this whole entire show is nauseating. It's as if it's being written by a bunch of amateur playwrights that are just out of friggin' grade school. Ricky Roberts. We don't get to see Bobby Roode's entrance. He's not deemed glorious enough for us to see the song. It's the best thing about him is the damn song in the entrance. We don't even get to see that anymore. You don't get the Authors of Pain a nice entrance on TV. They got one of the best theme songs on the roster. You're trying to get them over, but you're not even letting us see them come out because we got to see fucking Ricky Roberts versus Bobby Lashley, which essentially was a 10-second segment that you drug out for 15 fucking minutes. I'm supposed to be okay with Monday Night Raw. And all you're doing is making Elias look like a fool week after week for boring trashly that no one gives a shit about still. And nobody will give a shit about. I don't call him boring trashly because he's fucking great. Do I? You want to talk about things that are trashly? Holy shit. You know, I talk a lot about how I am not pleased with the likes of a Liv Morgan, and I am not amused with people in the Riot Squad, and we all know how horrendous the booking on a weekly basis is for the women's division, and we all know how much I despise the walking sausage Dana Brooke, but I will take any one of them on their worst day over an Alicia Fox on her best day. First of all, why is she even there? 7 days ago, she had the twig that's extended from her shoulder that she calls an arm ripped out of its socket by the baddest woman on the planet, and she's on Monday Night Raw this week. Why is she not off TV selling the injury? The whole opening segment with Alexa Bliss was unnecessary for her to be there at all. Especially when you want to factor in what the point of the segment was. She had no point in being there. All she ended up doing was being out there to botch the match in order for Alexa to get disqualified, which is something she could have done on her own. Why didn't you just have Alexa come out there, address Ronda Rousey being in the ring with Ember Moon, telling everybody, oh, listen, I ain't coming out there if you're going to be in the ring with an Ember Moon, if you're going to be on outside the ring, rather, for my match with Ember Moon. So Baron Corbin told me to get some security. Call out the boys. She walks to the ring with 4 fucking Nimrods that don't mean dick, that are going to get their ass chewed by Ronda Rousey, which is what happens anyway. And then we have the match. And it's one-on-one. Ronda Rousey on the outside, not getting involved, being the babyface, stand-up girl she is, just being an intimidation on the outside without even laying a finger on Alexa Bliss, without even touching the ring. And then Alexa Bliss gets herself intentionally disqualified, giving Ember Moon the win. Everybody's happy. The segment remained exactly the same without Alicia Fox. Unnecessary, overbooked, and makes no sense. The girl just had a limb removed from her body. She's on Monday Night Raw, and her shoulder's not even what's taped. They had her shoulder was separated, but she's taped up on the elbow. But I'm supposed to be okay with things. The Raw Tag Team title match. Triple threat Tag Team Championship matchup. For what? 6 days away from SummerSlam, you had this match for what? To book a match for the Revival versus the B-Team at SummerSlam on a pre-show that nobody's going to watch? And remove Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt from the equation completely, so now that they are completely off the SummerSlam card altogether, instead of just having this triple threat match on the pre-show, now Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt aren't even deemed worthy of being at SummerSlam when they were the tag team champions for the majority of the year. What? What? Why is the Revival getting a shot over the Deleters of Worlds? Because they ate the pinfall? They weren't beaten in the triple threat match, so that... awful. And then they want to pay tribute to the Hart Foundation. The Revival found a minute in this match to execute the Heart Attack finishing maneuver. This is one of the most devastating finishing maneuvers from the era that the Hart Foundation were dominant in. When you were hit with the Heart Attack, it spelt the end of the match. So, booking assholes in the WWE, whoever had the pencil for this segment, why would you even have the spot in the match if it was not going to finish the match? If ever there was a night for a special moment like that, you don't think for 1 minute, if you wanted to have the B team win tonight, you wanted to have people start to look at them and take them seriously, why not have them execute the heart attack on Bray Wyatt and get the goddamn win clean? Why do they have to win as a joke? And then the whole time paying tribute to the Hart Foundation, the place would have popped just for that alone. It would have gave the respect that the heart attack finishing maneuver deserves, instead of just using it in the middle of the match for a near fall 2-count kick out. Use your fucking brains, guys. How come I can come up with something like that, but these people who are paid upwards of 6 figures in some cases can't figure this shit out when it's sitting right in the face? This show was a disaster. This show was a disaster. Some of you guys might be excited for the return of Dean Ambrose. I am not. He looks great. I'm not going to tell you he don't look great. But if you're going to tell me this wasn't as predictable as fuck, you're out of your mind. And I think my idea was better. I did a video where I did fantasy book how I would bring Dean Ambrose back to television. We're not going to get into what I would have done because that didn't happen. It would have been infinitely better. If you watch the video, you know. But as happy as I am to see Dean Ambrose back, to me, this is just more of the same old shit. I understand if you guys are excited. Everybody wants the Dean Ambrose heel turn, right? That's exactly what this is pointing to. SummerSlam is going to come. Dean Ambrose is going to cost Seth Rollins this match. Dolph Ziggler is going to remain the Intercontinental Champion. And we will have Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, babyface versus heel, for the remainder of the year with nothing at stake, apparently. Unless Dean Ambrose allows him to win the Intercontinental Championship back, only to turn on him after the victory so that he could be the one to take it from him. Either way, it's the same old song and dance. I would have been much more interested in seeing this feud itself happen on SmackDown Live. I would have rather seen Dean Ambrose go back to SmackDown Live. He's just better fit there. I want him away from this Shield bullshit. It's more of the same old, same old. Don't tell me it isn't when you got the two of them, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, standing in the middle of the ring doing the Shield fist bump without the big idiot dog in the middle. Big stakes for the big dog tonight. What fucking big stakes? Is that the plan? Was Vince McMahon in the back? Maybe he was hungry. He was talking about steak. Oh, get some big steaks for the big dog. And don't even cook them because tonight it's raw. Big steaks. What was at stake? I'm not happy about Dean Ambrose's return in this scenario. Great to see him back. He looks fantastic. Everybody's saying he looks like Triple H. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. He did beef up. Definitely looks like he packed some muscle on. Loving the new haircut. Digging the new look. Just didn't want to see him with Seth Rollins anymore. This is just the same old shit we've been seeing for the last 5 years, you guys. I want different. I want new. I want them to use their imagination and get creative. While I'm sure Rollins and Ambrose can give us a great program, like I said, we've seen this before. The rest of the show was a non-entity, you guys. There is absolutely nothing that happened tonight that needs to be seen or needs to really be talked about leading into SummerSlam. We can cover everything on the preview and prediction show, which is coming at you guys this weekend, and we'd be just fine, because absolutely nothing has changed from last week, with the exception of a tag team championship match being placed on a pre-show, which is nothing new either. This is generally what they do every year for SummerSlam, right? Last year, didn't we have the New Day defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in what was probably the best match on the entire SummerSlam card last year? during the pre-show, in front of nobody. What else do you want me to talk about? Let's roll down the list here. Oh, we're going to talk about this fucking tag team matchup. Happy Smiley Finn, still doing his happy dance down to the ring. Right, we seen Baron Corbin tonight in a matchup with Tyler Breeze. Or at least I think that was Tyler Breeze. That wasn't Tyler Breeze to me. Tyler Breeze could wrestle circles around a Baron Corbin. If that was Tyler Breeze, that match could have went 15 minutes. It would have been much more convincing, and he would have done a lot more than lose after being hit with a deep six. The guy didn't even have to hit his finishing maneuver. Baron Corbin's finisher is the end of days. His signature is a deep six. And as impressive as it looked, it was absolutely beautiful. He probably rotated him around like 12 times. It was very, very impressive. Tyler Breeze was beat by a signature maneuver. Not even a finisher, which is something you don't see very often, which shows you what they think of a Tyler Breeze. If I've been saying Ty Dillinger, I apologize. I mean Tyler Breeze. But that's how interchangeable they are. They're exactly the same. Top quality talents. Both can wrestle the shit out of anybody. Probably wrestle better than anybody going today. And they're being used as jobbers to the stars. Or to the stars that Vince wants. And not the stars that we want. Because if we were getting what we want, Tyler Breeze would be a star. Then we get Finn Balor coming out for his part. Baron Corbin's booked him in a match. He's got him in a handicap match against Jinder Mahal. Joy! It's Shanti, everybody! Let's get fucking excited. Give me my remote so I can turn off the TV right now. Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens. That's all I have to say. I mean, I have nothing to say. I'm just going to keep slapping my leg. Because I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, Kurt Angle's going to come out and flex his muscle. Him and Baron Corbin with this one-upsmanship with the Authority. It's just fucking stupid. And I'm just so tired of it. It's going absolutely nowhere. Kurt continues week after week to look like a bumbling idiot. An absolute buffoon. Being undermined by the entire roster. He's supposed to be the authority figure. Should be cracking heads. This is Kurt Angle. Instead, he's being made a joke of by Baron Corbin at every step. So he's going to take this opportunity to interject his 2 cents into this match and bring out Braun Strowman. So now we have this Braun Strowman and Finn Balor tag teaming. Again, apparently they're buds now. They're fist bumping before the match. Monster's fist bump buddies apparently now. He's not a demon. I mean, at least if he was the demon, I would understand. You know, you got the demon and the monster and they could be friends. But no, you got shiny happy nitwit and the monster in the bank, who got the absolute biggest and best reaction of the night. And if he does not end SummerSlam, I don't want it to happen on Monday Night Raw. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. This is my show. I give a shit what I say. And I say, Sunday night at the Barclays, you make everybody go home happy, and you make Braun Strowman win the championship at SummerSlam. He's too big to just cash in that Money in the Bank on Monday Night Raw. It's not fair. His match with Kevin Owens, to me, at that pay-per-view, is a red herring match just to make you guys all think you've seen Strowman and it's done. And then he's going to come out and pull a Seth Rollins either in the middle of the match or after Brock Lesnar wins that match and beats Roman Reigns again. You cannot have Roman Reigns win at the Barclays Center. Unless Braun Strowman is going to cash it in. Cashing it in the next night gives the entire wrestling world 24 hours to absolutely shit their pants. And I don't want to go through that 24 hours. It just makes the most sense. And then Monday Night Raw will begin with our new Universal Champion, Braun Strowman, to a thunderous reaction, and it'll be beautiful. Other than that, I don't want to see anything else happen. But tonight on Raw, we see Braun Strowman in another tag team match. Being buddies with Finn. Pinning Jinder Mahal. Why is Jinder Mahal being inserted in this feud on a weekly basis? Just to be the one to take the pin? I don't understand. Nothing on this show made sense. Absolutely nothing. We had another encounter between the Riot Squad and the Boston Hug. I'm sorry, I couldn't even say it, you guys. It almost made me vomit it in my mouth. The Boston... I can't say it. I just can't do it. Sorry. Sasha and Bailey. We'll just go with that. Doesn't nearly make me as sick as trying to say the Boston... Can't do it. Just can't do it. Essentially more of the same shit. Yeah, it was a one-on-one match, Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott, which we have seen before on Monday Night Raw, so I knew it was going to be okay, but the way they ended this match was very underwhelming. The Riot Squad, of course, getting involved on the outside. Bailey coming to try to make the save. The goings-on, the shenanigans on the outside distracts Sasha Banks as she's trying to get back into the ring. She gets scooped up in a roll-up by Ruby Riott, and that's it. Ruby Riott and her Smurf-blowing friend and her Braun Strowman look-alike lady girlfriend walk away victorious as the Boston Connection stand in the ring looking absolutely dumbfounded, which was probably the same face that I had for 3 fucking hours tonight on Monday Night Raw. There's a lot of F-bombs being dropped tonight, I noticed. I'm in that kind of a mood. You know, I was pissed off because of the anvil. I tried to be all sentimental at the beginning of this thing, but once they fire me up and I get going, this thing just brings out the worst in me. It just brings out the absolute worst in me. Who cares about anything else? Bobby Roode, Apollo Crews, and Titus O'Neil versus the Authors of Pain and Mojo Rawley. We touched upon this briefly when we were talking about entrances and the lack thereof. Not that I want to see Mojo Rawley or Titus Worldwide's entrance, but I want to see Ricky Roberts 1,000 times less. This match was about 3 minutes. 3 minutes! The Authors of Pain on the losing side of the equation. Bobby Roode hits a glorious DDT, covers Bozo Rawley to get the win for his team. Good for him. What the fuck does it mean? Nothing. I don't want to see any of these 6 men at SummerSlam. None of them need to be there. Awful. Monday night, awful. And that's it, you guys. I think we covered everything. Nothing else of any importance happened on this night. Winners and losers don't matter. Greensboro, North Carolina was absolutely disrespected tonight with the episode that they got, but they seem to be enjoying it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on out there in Greensboro. That's Flair country out there. Maybe they're all drunk. They've been out having too much of a good time partying up the summer. Maybe they think the biggest party of the summer is every day in North Carolina, and they're all fucking licking up in there. I don't know. For the most part, the crowd was pretty dead for the entirety of the show, but there were some segments where they seemed to be enjoying it, and I'm just sitting on my couch like, what is this crowd watching? I don't get it. I got an infinite more amount of enjoyment watching my WWE superstars in the dozens of commercials that they're in. We see more WWE superstar action during the commercial break. Thanks to all these friggin' commercials they're doing. Subway commercials now, right? We got Cricket Wireless, 7-Eleven, all kinds of shit. We've seen so many commercials tonight, I just feel like buying something for the hell of it. And then, as always, during the go-home show, now the new monthly thing, the inset, picture-in-picture promo, while there's a match going on, we have to hype Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar while we got Alexa Bliss and Ember Moon wrestling at the beginning of a Monday Night Raw because nobody knows the main event for tonight's fucking show. We got to ram SummerSlam up your ass like a giant dildo. I hate this company sometimes. They make me hate them when they give me shit like this. I don't sit down on Monday night with the hammer looking for holes to poke into this show. I sit down every Monday night with the hope that the change is coming, that we're going to turn the corner. Because if you know anything about wrestling, it's steeps and valleys, man. And we are so far down right now, and we are headed in that same momentum, it seems, but I wait every Monday for that evening out, and then the eventual leading back up to the top of the mountain, so that they could be performing at least at adequate level. Since starting this show 2 years ago, I think maybe I've done 2 or 3 positive Raw reviews. Shit, it's 52 weeks in a year, right? It's what, like 110 episodes we probably have under our belt, maybe a few more, give or take. And I could count on my hands. I can count on 3 fingers. It can't be more than 3 Raw reviews on this channel in 2 years that I was like, holy cow! Monday Night Raw is maybe going to be great again. No signs of that happening in the near future. A lot is lying on what happens this Sunday at SummerSlam. And we are going to be here to bring you all the coverage that you need for it. We've got the SummerSlam preview and predictions coming at you guys this weekend. NXT preview and predictions going up Wednesday night. House of Glory High Intensity 7 this Friday in New York City. We got the preview and prediction show up yesterday. So if you missed that shit, go watch it right now. It's a whole lot of fun. Check out what I'm going to be seeing this Friday night as I do a complete preview and predictions of High Intensity 7. It's going to be a great show. One of the best stacked independent cards you will see this side of the Mississippi. It's absolutely going to be fantastic. Make sure you watch that preview and prediction show. Make sure you're here for everything else. We have 1 of 2 of our subscription boxes in-house right now. So we're gearing up to get that second one and bring you the August edition of the Subscription Box Showdown coming to you before the end of the month. We are going to be at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. We are going to be live tweeting all weekend long as we celebrate SummerSlam alongside SummerSlam. And you guys can help us celebrate that, because the whole point of SummerSlam is to show the WWE that the real party of the summer is happening right here on Sledgehammer TV. You can make that a reality. All you got to do is subscribe. That's why we're calling it SummerSlam. Get it? It's a clever tongue-in-cheek kind of pun thing going on. SummerSlam. You want to be a part of it, all you got to do is subscribe right now. Hit that like button. Make sure you let me know that you enjoyed today's broadcast, and then share this video with all of your wrestling friends all over the wrestling world, especially if they didn't have a good time watching Monday Night Raw tonight and they're not really looking that forward to SummerSlam, especially when the only match of interest, being the Intercontinental Championship match, was booked tonight in a way to make you go to sleep. Until Dean Ambrose came out. How you feel about that, that's on you. I already told you how I feel. So make sure you do all that stuff for me. It'll be a great way to support the channel. As I said, follow me on Twitter, @NickNightmare is the handle. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com, The Sledgehammer Wrestling SHow, all one word. I may be doing a Facebook Live from the bowels of the Barclays Center if my internet connection allows me to do so. And in order for you to know if that happens, you need to be there. So go check it out. Make sure you're following us all over social media. Most importantly, make sure you're following us here, because as soon as everything is done, we are recapping everything we do right here on this channel. And this channel would be nothing without you guys. Thank you all so much. All of you guys that have subscribed so far during SummerSlam. All of you guys that have been with me since day 1. Year number 2 is almost at a close. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is the world's greatest tag team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling SHow and the Wrestling God of Thunder. His tag team partner, the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball Microphone. We're so glad to be with you and with you guys right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling SHow. That is going to do it. We are out of here, and we will see you next time tomorrow night for SmackDown Live right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling SHow, only on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you guys so much, as always, for being here. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow. Rest in peace, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. You will be missed.